Welcome to the Homeschool Guide, Maths Whizz Tutor Console and Parent Reporting. Each student is given an individual log-on to the Whizz.com site. If the username is in initial capitals, you can ignore these as the username is not case sensitive, but the password is. If the student is logging in on an iPad, they need to do so through Puffin Academy. This is a free educational browser that can be downloaded as an app on your iPad. When students first log in, they will do an assessment to find out what level they are at in each topic, and Maths Whizz will set their automated program. This initial assessment should be done under test conditions, where students are not given any help to answer the questions. If a student gets help with an assessment, Maths Whizz will assume that the student knows more than they do, and will set their lessons at a level that is too high for them. In the assessment, the student was given questions in each topic covering the New Zealand curriculum. If they got a question right, the next question was a little harder, and if they get a question wrong, the questions get easier, until Maths Whizz finds their level in every topic. After the students complete their assessment, you will be able to see a profile like this, showing their strengths and weaknesses. The younger the students are, the less topics they have. As they progress through Maths Whizz, more topics are introduced. Maths Whizz uses a UK Maths Whizz age as a guideline. It is not a New Zealand maths age. The purpose of Whizz is not to focus on the maths age of where the child starts, but the improvement they make. If we are looking at an approximate correlation to New Zealand standards, then as a rough guide you can add 6 to 9 months to the UK maths age to get an approximate level for New Zealand students. But again, we do not recommend that you focus on this age when working with your child, but focus on improvement. Maths Whizz will now give the student lessons at each level in each topic specifically for them. When a student logs in, they can go into their study where they can access everything.
Hello, can you get to 30 minutes of usage this week?
All areas in the study will remain locked until a student has done either 10 minutes in their current session or 45 minutes for their week on Maths Whizz activities. The clock is reset to 0 minutes every Monday. The student's tutor gives lessons specifically for each student at their level with a focus on their weaker topics to try and fill in the gaps that we saw earlier in their topic profile. We recommend 60 minutes of focused activity each week in Tutor. Maths Whizz has over 1,200 different exercises. Your child will receive a lesson addressing a specific learning objective, and if they pass, they will receive a test. If they pass the test, they make one progression and move on to their next learning objective. If they don't pass the test, they will have to repeat the exercise again later, even if they passed it the first time. For this reason, it is important that students try their very best in the tests. To get new lessons, they need to pass the tests, but it is important that you do not help them, or Maths Whizz will set their program too hard. Here is an example of a typical exercise in Tutor.
2 halves make 1 whole.
The learning objective for this exercise is begin to recognize that 2 halves or 4 quarters make 1 whole. Most exercises have some teaching at the beginning with an example. Maths Whizz will then give your child a set of questions.
4 quarters make 1 whole. Click 4 pieces that make 1 whole circle.
If your child gets the answer right, they will get the next question. If they get the question wrong, they will be given some help first before they are shown the correct answer. This can often help the child's understanding. If they pass this exercise, then they will be given the test. The purpose of the test is to assess mastery of the learning objective and to simulate school-based testing. If the child passes the test, Maths Whizz will progress them to the next learning objective. Remind your child to always try their best in their tests, as if they don't, they will end up having to repeat exercises they may have already passed. Do not help them in the tests, as Maths Whizz will then assume they understand more than they do and move them on. But do remind them to do their best in the tests and not to log out until they are finished. The Maths Whizz tutor is adaptive, and the next exercise will be determined by the results in the test. So when you see animals bouncing across the screen, this is just an alternative to a loading sign, while Maths Whizz chooses the next activity for your child. Always encourage your child to listen closely to the teaching at the beginning of each exercise.
Angles around a point add up to 360 degrees. These 2 angles add up to 360 degrees.
Watch carefully that your child doesn't click through the teaching without listening or understanding the example shown. Otherwise, they tend to get stuck on the questions.
If we know one of the angles around a point, we can subtract it from 360 degrees to find the other angle.
Most of the exercises have a jump button. which becomes active if a student gets the first few questions right in an exercise.
Jump unlocked.
When the jump button becomes active, the child should then ask themselves the question, could I get 100% in the test?
Well done. As you're doing so well, you can skip the rest of the questions in this lesson. Would you like to jump ahead to the next lesson or continue with these questions?
If they need some more practice, they should do some more questions until they are confident they can get 100% and then press the jump button. Always encourage your children to do their very best in their tests, as if they do not pass the test, then they will have to repeat the previous exercise until they pass the test that goes with it. If they have jumped the exercise and then they don't pass the test, they will not be able to jump that exercise next time they do it. If they pass the test, then they will get new exercises, so it is important they try their hardest in the tests. Every time they pass a test, it will show as improvement in their progression report and they will progress to the next level. Students can use a paper and pencil to help them do working, but they shouldn't use a calculator unless one comes up on the screen like this. To support your child's learning, check their report card, which can be accessed in their study each time they log on. You can see all of the activities they have done in the last 7 days. Keep an eye on how long it has taken them and the scores they got. This icon represents a test, and the picture icon could be an exercise, a topic bank or replay activity. Another way to keep up with how your child is doing in Whizz is by signing up to parent reports. Click the iPod on the desk, fill in your details, and as well as receiving monthly email updates, you will also have real-time access to a range of reporting functions. Get a quick overview from their dashboard, a look into their complete history, their progress to date, and a text report summarizing what you have just seen. From here you can print any reports, generate a certificate, send your child a message, and have a look at all of the sent and received messages. Your child also has the ability to message you back, a great way of helping keep them engaged in the learning process. From your parent dashboard you will also be able to access Exercise Preview, a quick look at the next 3 lessons your child will get in their tutor mode. By clicking on the computer screen, you will be able to preview the lesson with your child. Any work completed here will not affect their tutor mode results, so it's a great opportunity for you to help them with their learning. Another important part of the Whizz suite is the console area, where students can practice the new skills they are acquiring in their tutor mode. We recommend once students have done 60 minutes in their tutor, where they are taught new concepts based on their current level, through exercises and tests, then they do at least 30 minutes consolidating their learning by doing replay. This is where they practice exercises to try and improve their score through challenges and replaying the exercises. They can access this consolidation area in 3 ways: when they first log in by going straight to console, by entering through the sign on the door, or by clicking replay on their desk. Every time a student is given an exercise in their tutor, it is made available in the replay area. If they click on the gold medals, they get to see their gold medal exercises. These are where they scored 100% in a fast time in their tutor. Their silver medal exercises are the ones they got 100% but in a slower time. Their bronze medal exercises they got between 80 and 99% in their tutor, and your no medal exercises where you got less than 80% or where the exercise was jumped. The idea of replay is they practice their weaker exercises. They should always work in their no medal exercises to try and turn them into bronze, silver or gold. If they click on the exercise, replay or challenge will appear. They can only do a challenge once they have done a replay. In replay, they try to improve their personal best, and if they do, they earn 10 maths credits and possibly get a medal. When they challenge in an exercise, Whizz will select 3 students from around the world who have done better than them, so they are always being encouraged to improve, gaining in confidence with their maths. The student they beat will now receive a challenge request, but at no time can students communicate with each other. If they win the challenge, they will also get 10 maths credits. Your children can have up to 10 buddies who they can compete against, either in maths credits for the week or directly in challenges if they are currently working on the same exercises. If they know their friend's Whizz username, then they can submit a buddy request like this. Micah is adding Josh as a buddy. This is Josh's account, and he now has a buddy request from Micah. He now accepts this, and now Micah is on Josh's buddy list. Now when Micah logs in, Josh is also on his buddy list. There is also a leaderboard showing who has the most credits out of all of Micah's buddies, who has the most credits in Micah's homeschooling network, and who has the most credits in the Whizz world. The current leaderboard resets to 0 every Sunday night at midnight so all students can start afresh on Monday morning. Micah can challenge his buddies by clicking on exercises shared with the other students to see which one of his buddies he can challenge. If Micah wins, now Josh will automatically get a challenge to try and improve his score, and if he wins he will earn 10 credits, and Micah in turn will be issued with another challenge. The whole time each child is gaining in confidence with their maths. If the envelope is bouncing up and down in their study, they have been sent a message. They can click on the message to read it, and they can also see any stickers you have attached to the message in their sticker book. If you know your child is having trouble in a particular area, the best place to go is Topic Bank. Get them to identify the exercise, and then you may work through the lesson and examples with them. This does get recorded as part of their time, so don't spend too long in there. It is important that your child does their 60 minutes in tutor each week, and then consolidates their learning in the replay and challenges area for approximately 30 minutes. While they are using MathsWhiz, they will earn credits. The better they do, the more credits they earn. Be sure to ask your child to show you their playroom where their toys and pets are kept, and get them to show you what they have purchased. A helicopter costs 500 maths credits. If they buy pets, they will also need to earn credits to buy pet food. They can also spend 45 credits to play a game, but make sure they have done their tutor and replay time before playing games. Get them to show you the shop and what they're saving up for. They can also have fun decorating their room. When your child logs out, it's important they log out using the MathsWhiz logo and following the prompts. So, in summary, we have looked at the differences between the exercises and tests and assisting your child in making progressions by encouraging them to do their very best in the tests. Every week, students should be aiming to spend around 60 minutes in their tutor and 30 minutes in replay consolidating their learning.